Right then, this isn't part 2, but we went out yesterday and we did this vlog. For those of you who watched me vlog this morning will know why I'm redoing it. It's only because of names that were mentioned, so we decided it was better to redo it. And also, I enjoyed it that much, I wanted to do it again anyway, so here we are anyway. Oh yeah, before I go on to that as well, we're just 11 blue tits left the nest. As you saw from the vlog, there's 1 or 2 in the garden. Last night after I'd finished filming, there was still 1 or 2 more. So I spoke to my neighbour. The cat was in prison all night. It wasn't allowed out, so got up this morning, no sign of any of the baby birds, so hopefully they've gone home for pastures new. That's brilliant. Right then, so what we'll get on to now, we're back on the top of Werneth Low. I'm not going to say what we're doing. I'm going to let Peter tell you what we're doing. So I'm going to hand you over now to my good friend Peter Oldham.
Right, good morning all. Now then, we're once again we're at the top of Joe Lane, which is called 4 lane ends, as you see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now then, this was a small community in the 1700s, which had its own smithy, and later on it was called Cheetham Smithy, which actually made cutlery and wares for these cottages around here and the adjoining farms. But the ironic thing is, they even had a ferreting division, if that's the right word,
Brilliant.
for all the rabbits on the different farms. And that was, I would have said, one of the first little businesses of that era, basically,
right,
for that thing. But anyway, let's digress a little bit and get back to this telephone box here. Now, as you see, this telephone box has got the word defibrillator. We all know what that means and we all know what it is. But when this was put up many years ago, if you follow me now, there's a word, not here, but here, and no one in the, well, I won't say in the country, but no one knows what that word means. That is actually not Welsh. It is, and it's not an adjective or anything to do with Werneth Low. But if you know what that means, we would all like to know. Now then, it was said that it could do something with the local witchcraft in the local cover round
Local
here.
what?
Covent.
Witchcraft?
Oh, witchcraft.
Ooh.
Oh, right. With the phantoms and what have you. We'll get back to that later on. But yes, so that is the start of our little adventure this morning.
Oh heck.
Yeah.
Right, we've got an audience. Okie dokie. Shall we move on down the road?
Move on there.
Right. So, as Peter says, if any of you do know what that word means, or I don't know what it's associated with, please be free to leave in your comments, because we all want to know. There has been many, well, what am I looking for? People who have said what it is or what they think it is, so, but it would be interesting to find out a bit more on it. So on we go. So I'm just walking down here now and I pointed out to Peter on the wall here, look at this. What he's just been talking about. Now, whether this is the old smithy or not, or they're just using it as the, I don't know, the name because of the area, who knows?
Yeah, very good, very good. I mean, you can see where they have the horses and stuff around there, because there's a bit of land at the back of it here.
Oh yeah. This backs onto the cricket club, by the way, so if any of you do come up to G-Cross to have a wander around, come to watch the cricket, Hyde Cricket Club's behind here.
Where the old pavilions were here.
Right, so we've got, this is the Hyde Cricket Club here, so if any, well, it's a squash club and all, but if any of you do come up, good cricket, me and Dawn come up here actually quite a lot watching it. We're just looking at the sun there on the city centre, and Donna Healy, Tommy, and Dave Watkins down there in Horton Green say good morning to you. Yeah, so where we are now, we've walked along from what is it, 4 lanes?
4 lane ends.
4 lanes ends, and we've come up to the Hare and Hounds, which actually got me interested in doing this with Peter, knowing that Tom and Amy had quite a few drinks, come out of here and started talking about ghosts. And then my friend Shane, who actually did a vlog on paranormal ghosts of G-Cross, I think, in surrounding areas. So it got me really interested into it. So that's why we're here today. And as I say, Peter knows quite a lot about Grizzly murders, hauntings, and various other things. So we'll carry on anyway. Right, so we've just got onto the car park of the Hare and Hounds, and Peter's back.
Hello there again. Now then, as you see, we're at the Hare and Hounds up on top of Werneth Low. This is one of the oldest pubs around this area. One of the Mansfields had this pub. His first pint of beer was costing 5 pence of old money. Now then, I'm going to go back in time to the Second World War, actually, when, as you all know, people in this era, there was a lot of people on the black market, my granddad being one of them. There was actually rustling sheep, cows, pigs, goats, anything they could sell. And a lot of the abattoir, that's the best word for it, was over there, as we speak now, over there. Now then, what do you think they did with the hoofs and arms which was left? Now, 20 years after the war had finished and it had all been forgotten, a farm labourer at the time was asked to mow this particular field. He then, after 2 hours of ploughing, gets back to the farmer in question. He says, all I can find in this field while I'm ploughing is hoofs and horns. Where'd they all come from? You know, that's one little story. I can go on, but that's for another time.
That's unbelievable.
Now then, as we pan round to the next field, this was a racecourse. A very dangerous racecourse. There was many horses killed on it, but it did last for in excess of 20 years. In excess of 20 years. People on hay carts and ferries used to come from surrounding areas to have a great day on Werneth Low. And once a year at Whit Week, they had a big fair, is that's the best word, with bear baiting and all that sort of stuff.
Bear baiting?
Well, that was in the early days. Yes, they were still going on, and cockfighting. But yes, unbelievable what we have on top of Werneth Low. I mean, I can go tell you about the, here's another one, is a beauty for you. Just across this wall, actually,
yes.
Just after the Second World War, there was a family camping. For what reason, I do not know. But in the middle of the dead of night, the mist was coming down. They heard the walking of many people. So they all got up, looked over the wall. What did they see? A legion of Roman soldiers walking past. Never stared, they just walked straight on, and they just disappeared in the fog. Now this has happened more than once on this particular Werneth Low. It is renowned for ghosts, ghouls and all manner of spectres. Now I do believe it's because of the ley lines which crisscross this, which are bringing up past presences. I might be wrong, I do not know. But, so there we go, that is up to you to manipulate them.
Right, so that is very interesting. And now with Peter telling me that, me and Dawn were only discussing about getting some camping gear and going camping on the top 60. But hearing this story now, and when Dawn hears it as well, might have to think twice about it, unless we go mob-handed.
Yes.
Oh.
And they've been, this Roman legion has been seen more than once over this side and the other side of the back of the low. Yeah, it's very uncanny indeed.
Might be worth bringing me metal detector though.
Oh yes, yes. Treeps.
Hey up, look at these. These aren't a Roman legion, but there's some sheep they've been for a wander, unless they've been to Hare and Hounds for a drink. Where have they gone?
Gone through Bexley. No, they are top corner.
Oh yeah.
You're 1 o'clock. Now then, let's come forward in time to the Cold War, which we was having with Russia at the time. Now this, as you can see here, was owned by the Hyde Royal Observer Corps. Now this in question, you think, what is it? But if you take this top off, it goes down to 6 feet, then there's another lid. You open that lid and it will actually, there's an opening about, let's say 12 foot by 12 foot under here. Now this, when the clock of anything got to 2 minutes to midnight, meaning there's going to be a nuclear war, there would be 2 men in this bunker, binoculars, waiting for any explosions from Russia. Then they would triangulate the data, which would then go back to head office. Now this, like I said before, was 1962 to 1968. It was manned many times because it was getting very, very close to a nuclear war. Now there is another one over the other side of the low, the back end of the low, and that will point over to Charlesworth, that end. But I think this would be the main one, because you've got Manchester, you've got all over Cheshire that way, and
so yeah, as he says, and I'm glad he's told me about that, Peter, because me and Dawn have been coming up here for years, as you know, and I've always been curious what that was. I've never had a clue, so he's put me in the picture with that, and now we're going to have a walk down onto what Peter's just been telling me is the most haunted road on this patch of land. So,
and actually, this bit before I tell you about, but this patch of road, as you see here, goes all the way. If you did it back in let's say 300 years ago, would go to the salt mines in Cheshire, very big salt mines. Salt would have been packed onto great big horse-driven carts, come along here and all the way to Sheffield. This was the main route for the salt to Sheffield, and at that particular time, salt was nearly as expensive as gold.
So there we have it.
Another story, and that is why I think there was a lot of paranormal activities around this area, from everything. I mean, it's unbelievable what you can see if you wanted to see it.
Right, we better move on. Actually, it's a very nice place for me, this. And if you put your Merlin app on, I can actually hear a blackcap and a whitethroat singing. But just over here through this gap, just behind where that hawthorn tree is there, is where we spread my dad's ashes. And my dad's been dead now just over 3 years ago. So it's a very special place for me and the family, myself and Dawn, because we can sit up there and we actually get 5 warblers. But I'm straying away now from Peter, so I'm going to go back, because now this is a tale he's told me about, and this, well, even Shane has wrote about this. He did it in his vlog, so I've really been interested about this. So anyway, we'll go over to Peter now.
Right then, it has been seen on this lane, actually, walking up to the Hounds, that there's been seen a spectre, if that's the right word, of a woman walking like this with her hands in the air. Now then, I've put it down to that the lady in question, well, let's get back to the chase, basically. Now then, here we are. Now there's a cross here. This cross was put by the people of G Cross. And in 1903, there was a lady had a baby out of wedlock, and she actually, at the time, it was a no-no, and with the climate as it was, she murdered the baby. It's a sad state of affairs. She actually drowned it.
Can I just interrupt? I know where you're going talking, but I've just seen something I need to get. I'm just looking now. Have I got it? Is it on that horse? Or is it on that horse? Or is it's flown away? I couldn't believe it. There was a starling on the horse's back. But anyway, not to worry. Oh, sorry about that, Peter.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
Like I said, in 1903, this lady in question, actually, I've got a name here. I do get this name wrong. I do, and I don't know why. It's like a blockage in my name. Let's have a shuff to what she's called. Actually, Elizabeth Davis. That's it, Elizabeth Davis. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, this Elizabeth Davis, actually, either she threw the baby over there or she drowned it physically. which I am not 100% sure of.
I know that doesn't look like a pond, but in the winter time, I assure you, it does flood, and it's a very good spot for snipe as well.
Yes, 40, 50 years ago, that was a really swampy area. It's over the years that the sediment has grown up and it's gone to what it looks like now. But anyway, 2 days later, the farm labourer, a young lad who's walking across the field here, spots the baby. Now, the police were involved, and then it went viral in the papers. But the baby in question had a birthmark. So they took a picture of the birthmark and put it in the papers. Now then, where this young lady, Mrs. Davison, had the baby, the matron knew straight away that Mrs. Davison had this baby because of the birthmark. So she was actually arrested, taken to court, Crown Court, evicted, and given the death sentence. But anyway, that was commuted to life imprisonment. But as time went on, and I don't know how many years she was in prison, the people of G-Cross got together and made a big petition to free her. And actually, she got free. And she left prison and really lived a very simple life till her demise in old age. But that is what we think of this lady who we've seen down here walking this is always either the first or the second day of a new moon. Why that is, maybe because that was a day when, but anyway, she's walking down here like with her hands in her hair, and it's like saying, oh, where's my baby, where's my baby? I don't know, but it's so cute.
So, there we have it. I'm definitely thinking about not camping up here now, definitely.
They know good people.
Yeah, they do. Just get your Merlin apps on, that's a skylark.
Yeah.
Right.
You ready?
We've walked blinking miles now, so I'm just going to sit next to my mate here now. I don't know whether we're both on film or not, so what I might do is stand back up and film Peter, and rather than film us both together. Who's that? People are stopping waving. I don't know who they are. Right, I'll go back to there so people can't see me. Right, hang on. Let me just get my thing and then we're all... I think I would have been on, but we'll get it right.
Yeah, are you ready?
We're ready, so...
Excellent. Now then, another spectre or ghost or whatever you want to call it was not more than a quarter of a mile away, half a mile away down Green Lane. It's a spectre which is seen on usually damp evenings. Why damp evenings, I don't know. I think it's something to do with the ley lines or whatever is around this area. But it all stems, I believe, that of a very gruesome murders of a young child, mother and a lover. And this all stems from a farmer who used to have a farm down Green Lane, and a little bit further up the farm was the local squire. Now then, this farmer in question didn't have a wife, so for 2 or 3 days he went missing. Came back actually with this beautiful young lady. Now then, 10 years elapse, everything's going sweet, he has a child. And then one particular day he's coming back from haymaking, goes into the barn and finds the squire with his wife. Now then, that would make anybody's blood boil, but is a little bit more than the average. He no more killed his wife, turned round and killed the squire. In such rage, he went out and went to the kitchen, and who's there? His son, which wasn't his son actually, it was the squire's son. He no more killed the son. Now then, after how many minutes or hours, he does come down off his high horse and thinks what he's done. So no more, he goes back into the barn with a long rope, ties it and climbs up to the top of the barn, ties it round one of the beams, puts it round his neck and jumps. The sad thing is the drop was too long. What finished up its head came off his body.
Blinking heck.
Yes, and that's a true tale, and that's true tale. And we think that the spectre which we see down there is the lady in question. Why the lady again, I do not know.
So what's the spectre? Is that a ghost?
That's a ghost. That's a ghost. Yes,
right.
The entity, or what the mediums call an entity. But there is a big entity down there, a very frightening sense of boding.
And whereabouts is that?
That is Green Lane. And actually there's another one. I think you've got a phantom dog down there, if my mind recollects. I'd have to look that one up as well, but I think you've got a phantom dog down there.
I think you're correct in saying that, because what I watched on Shane's YouTube video, he talks about the dog, and the dog's been seen on the River Tame in various...
Yes, it has.
It's even been seen that far. Yes, I think it is.
Yes, yeah, that's right around here. And like I said early on, and I'm highly convinced it's because of these ley lines which crisscross over here. And this Werneth law goes back to 4,000 years ago.
That's a long time.
A long time.
These are a plant I really like. I love some of these down on the 110 on the nature trail. Yeah, they're called gutterers. And I'm hoping my iris, I know the yellow ones that Paula Smith has donated to the thing, but I hope they come up as nice as that.
Yeah.
Right, this is comfrey. I was going to say a lot of people think it's foxgloves, but it's actually called comfrey, and it is used for sprains and what have you. I think what you do, you soak the leaves after, I don't know how long.
Yes,
but
you soak the leaves.
You soak them, don't you? And they can be used for sprains and what have you. But I've just spotted a bee there now, and can I just say thank you for all the comments back on bees, and now I know that we actually have 270 species of bee in our country.
No, I didn't know that.
No,
I didn't know that. I knew we had a lot, but I didn't know nowhere near that.
Yep.
And this is another thing of comfrey, that our local name for this is knitbone.
Oh.
Knitbone, because that's what you did for sprains and that. You used to put it in boiling water.
Knitbone.
Knitbone, yeah.
Brilliant. There we are.
There we are.
As I always say to you, every day is a school day.
It's a school day. Always remember that. And always remember this. As the Scarecrow said to the Wizard of Oz, I'm highly convinced that the only people worthy of consideration are the unusual ones, because the common folk are like the leaves on a tree, live and die unnoticed.
There you are. Brilliant. Right, we're just walking down the top part actually of Higham Lane, and this is Higham Farm. I believe, now I need to get this right, so this might be wrong. But I'm sure my granddad farmed this farm. But not my granddad, my great grandfather, who was called Harper Jackson. He also had the lower Higham farm, which we're going to go to now. But on the way down, I want Peter to show us something that's something that I've always wanted to know about, how this woodland appeared, but we're going to find out that, I believe, in a minute. Yeah, so we've only walked a couple of 100 yards down, not even that. And this is woodland here. I stand on the edge of this woodland on the other side. That's far too fast. Country lane. Yeah, birds in here are absolutely magnificent. But Peter has been telling me something about this, which he's going to share with us now.
Now then, as Andy said, this little woodland here is full of bird life. It's unbelievable what it's full of. But anyway, Carfay woodland, Carfay wood as I call it. I, Dave Cannon, and another couple of volunteers planted this over 35 years ago. Around 12 years ago it was thinned out, but as you can see now it's just a mass of trees, and the wildlife inside here is unbelievable. It's a little hidden gem. People walk past here, don't think anything about it, but it's a little gem for wildlife. Now then, on the other hand, I am now, you wouldn't believe it, but I am 71 years of age. Now then, over this wall here was Aspen Maternity Home.
I used to do a garden there actually once upon a time.
This is where I was born.
You was born there?
I was born there in 1954, the 16th of August 1954. And there was two things about G-crossers then. If you was born above the big tree, you was a G-crosser. Or if you was born at Aspen, you was an Idonian. But if you're born above the big tree, that's for another tale. But Aspen Maternity Home went for about 20 years, I'm led to believe, as a maternity home.
Right, I'm not sure where my dad was born, whether he was born at home or he was born in this maternity home. But I'm sure my mother will tell me when she's watched this vlog in the morning. So we've just got down now, you can't see much of it. It is actually changed slightly, but this is Lower Iron Farm, where my great-grandfather and great-grandmother farmed. Sarah and Harper Jackson, they're actually buried in the church down the road. But there's a plaque on the wall up here that I want to just show you, because it's to do with the maternity hospital thing up the road where Peter was born. And I'm sure it's called, the Aspen Maternity Hospital. So you can actually screenshot that if you're interested. I mean, obviously if you're not interested, don't do it. But if you are, I'll just stay on it for oh bloody hell, I nearly fell in bush. Just stay on it for like a minute, then you can screenshot that if you want to read up on it or anything like that. Or it tells you everything there. But while I'm here,
these are the two pillars from Aspen Maternity Home.
Are they really?
Yes, if you read that there, Andy, it'll tell you that these are the two original pillars from the Aspen Maternity Home, which was carted over here.
Right, so there we have it. Right, while I'm here now, I'm slipping everywhere. Well, I'm here now, there's a cafe here. So if you do, hang on a minute, let me swap hands. Yeah, there's a cafe here, so if you do visit the country park on a Sunday, it's only open on a Sunday, but I tell you what, cracking scones, cracking cake,
homemade scones.
Homemade, and it's this little cafe you see, really nice inside, and I'll just go up there on the thing, see if you can you see that? I don't know, hang on, I might have to zoom in. Right, so that's what we have, and CAF 710 here it means a lot, and Peter just tell us within 30 seconds what it is.
I mean the 710 just up there is a cenotaph, and those were the 710 people who died from the Hyde area in the First World War. Basically, that's nice and simple actually.
So that's good, isn't it? It's good to know.
Now, would you like to know about the little skirmish where the Romans were buried? Have we got time for that?
I think we might have to talk about that on the next one.
Okay, no problem at all, that Andy.
Right,
I'll do that next time.
So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to thank Pete very much because he's enjoyed it. I know he has, because he's been giggling. But I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I have learnt so much this morning. It's just, it's unbelievable. It's all on my doorstep, and it's everything I didn't know. So I'm going to shake Peter's hand now.
And thank you, sir. No, thank you for a good morning.
Much for that.
Thank you very much to you, sir.
And you know what I always say? I always say, if you like what you see, subscribe to my channel at Andy the Gardener G Cross, leave a like and ding on that bell. I'll leave you with something, always leave you with something. Today, I've got no option but to leave you with my good friend, Peter Oldham. Thank you. See you all for now. Ta-ra.